Hey guys, Lexus Driver here. Welcome to a new video. Now, on this video, I'm going to be showing the three vehicles that are the most expensive you can get in the Lexus lineup, but two are the Lexus vehicles that are no longer going to be in the North American market and also worldwide, particularly the Lexus LC. But in this case, for the LS, it's going to be discontinued in North America, but it'll still live on in other markets in Asia. Now, as you can see right here, this is the Lexus LS Heritage Edition. Now, the Heritage Edition is, if you see a Heritage Edition, you know that that's going to be the last vehicle for the year. Once the next year comes, it's no longer going to be in the lineup. So the Lexus LS Heritage Edition, this is a very luxurious vehicle you can get in the Lexus lineup when it comes to sedans. I think it only comes in one color. Yeah, I think it only comes in one color. It's a way for, Lexus USA to say goodbye to this vehicle because this vehicle is no longer going to be in the North American market soon. Um, I was pretty naive when I said that this vehicle is my favorite Lexus vehicle of all time. But to a lay person or an average Joe like me, the Lexus LS is a pretty expensive vehicle you could get for a sedan. Not worth burning my money on getting a vehicle like this. Unless for a vehicle like this, I would prefer a vehicle like this to be being chauffeured in this vehicle instead of driving it. I mean, driving it would be fun, but given the price tag of this vehicle, it's pretty expensive. So yeah, I was pretty naive. So as I said, I've renounced that the LS is my favorite Lexus vehicle of all time. Now the Lexus ES is my favorite Lexus vehicle of all time because the Lexus ES really reminds me of the Toyota Camry, the vehicle I grew up with as a kid. Interior still remains the same, but yeah, I'm not going to go into full details because I want to cover the other vehicles because I am going to be covering the other vehicles on this video. The shifter, Prius-like, but not much to say. And as you can see, LS Heritage Edition. Uh-huh. Yeah. You still get that analog clock. Actually, does it show in this one? Yeah, you still get that analog clock, but Lexus, they're really getting rid of the analog clocks on all of their vehicles. I mean, analog clocks, I can live with that, but given Lexus is, getting rid of the analog clock, it is their choice. But for the analog clock, it made me miss the digital clock on the dashboard. But you still get a digital clock on both the infotainment screen and the instrument panel. So analog clock, it's just for an ad of luxury. Yeah. Okay, next up, the Lexus LC, also another vehicle that's no longer going to be with us. The Lexus LC, okay, you get a coupe or convertible. Um, I once made a joke about the Lexus LC. If you guys are huge Bad Guys fans, I like to picture Mr. Wolf and his friends driving this vehicle. Well, Mr. Wolf driving this vehicle along with his girlfriend and his friends. Diane Foxington, his girlfriend, and his friends. Mr. Snake, Mr. Shark, Mr. Piranha, Mr. Tarantula. So I like to picture, Mr. Wolf, his girlfriend, and his friends riding this vehicle. But it's up to you on which one would he prefer to drive when it comes to the Lexus LC, the coupe or the convertible. I'll let you guys decide that, but I'm pretty sure if I had to choose which LC I would prefer Mr. Wolf, his girlfriend, and his friends would travel, I would prefer the coupe because the coupe, I'm pretty sure you still get enough rear seat room, but the convertible, it's pretty claustrophobic in the rear seats. But vehicle like this, it's no longer going to be with us. Interior still remains the same, apart from you get a touchscreen. They finally got rid of the remote touchpad controller. You still get that sporty feel of the interior. though since this vehicle is no longer going to be with us, it is pretty tragic to seeing this one last time. The Inspiration series. Yeah, the Inspiration series, this is the I would say this is the ultimate vehicle you can get in the LC lineup, you know, if you want to have that sporty feel. Yeah. And that's how they open the top and then also bring the top back. Yeah, for a vehicle like, you know, this luxurious, the screen is pretty small. You know, people would be expecting to have a really big screen um, for a really expensive coupe or convertible. Well, you know what I mean. And I would really compare this with the Supra. For the RC, I would compare that to the GR86. But since the convertible lineup is no longer going to be in the Lexus lineup anymore, there's really nothing I could do to compare the coupe and convertible between Lexus and Toyota. Yeah, the shifter still Prius-like. Yeah. And then, yep. But I won't go into further details into this, apart from, you know, being that this is the last vehicle. Yeah, yeah. 500 coupe, 500 convertible. As you can see, they discontinued the hybrid because the hybrid wasn't selling very well. It's pretty sad. You know, I would have loved it. I would have loved the hybrid, but due to the poor sales, they got rid of it. And also, that's another vehicle I like to say. I like to picture Mr. Wolf, his girlfriend, and his friends in that vehicle. But anyways, that's all I have to talk about this vehicle. Finally, the Lexus LX. Now, this is the hybrid model. The gasoline model is still expensive, but the hybrid is going to be the most expensive Lexus vehicle you can get in the Lexus lineup once the Lexus LS has discontinued, along with the LC. So, the Lexus LX hybrid, this is the most expensive Lexus vehicle you can get in the Lexus lineup once those vehicles are discontinued. Um, I've already renounced that the LX Hybrid is my favorite SUV of all time because, you know, given what the price tag is showing here, it's a really, really expensive SUV you can get, and also going to be the most expensive Lexus vehicle you can get in the Lexus lineup for North America, obviously. Yeah. You know, regardless of what vehicle you get in the LX lineup, you still get the off-road features like multi-terrain select, multi-terrain monitor. But for the ultra luxury Lexus LX, these LX vehicles, this is primarily built for the luxury. So regardless of what you get, the gasoline, hybrid, Overtrail, or the F Sport, you still have off-road capabilities, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But you know, given how expensive the LX is, there. To a lay person or an average Joe, this would be unaffordable. Even if they're hardcore off-road drivers, this vehicle would not be affordable for an average Joe. If you love off-roading and you have the funds to get this vehicle, uh, can't stop you for that one. Interior of my As I said about the interior, for a vehicle this expensive, I was expecting, you know, a screen should have been really big, like the size of a tablet, the size of a tablet, like, you know, covering this entire dashboard, right there in center, so you have a lot of information you can get. But instead, what Lexus went was a really tiny screen for your off-road capabilities, and another screen primarily to control, you know, your climate, off-road capabilities, etc., etc. So yeah, I would say that yeah. If Let me check the Overtrail. Okay. Yeah, this is what the Overtrail interior looks like. Your shifter for the Overtrail Lexus LX, it's a Prius shifter. That's because it's the Overtrail only comes in the hybrid, so would have been pretty cool if we had the for the hybrid, it would make sense. It would make sense to have the a shifter like that, but for the Overtrail, it is what it is. Qi wireless charger, yeah. Full-time four-wheel drive, yeah. Uh-huh. And as I said, I've already renounced that the LX is my favorite because it is a pretty expensive vehicle. So I've decided to say that the Lexus GX is my favorite Lexus SUV of all time. Yeah. Not much to go into the details, just want to skim through. F Sport, yeah. Yeah. As I said, for a vehicle this expensive, I would say my only complaint about the interior is, the infotainment screen is pretty small. I mean, for a vehicle this expensive, I mean, for an SUV this expensive, you would be expecting like a really big screen covering the dashboard. But instead, you'd be paying a lot of money for a vehicle this expensive, but for an infotainment screen to be that size. It kind of sucks, but let's see once the years go by. There's a good chance they might do a facelift of the interior. So yeah, it's okay. So here we go. Um, yeah, the LX 700. Okay, so the Overtrail you can only get it as a yeah. Sorry, my webcam was blocking that. The 700H Overtrail, that shows you that the Overtrail only comes in a hybrid. So, if you love off-roading, your best option is the Overtrail. But if you prefer, the shifter, like the gated shifter and whatnot, you're better off going with the other grade models of the LX. Uh, yeah. Anyways, what a great way to end off the video here. I'll uh, I'll end off the video like this. But anyway, guys, that's all I have this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, and be sure you hit that notification bell so you can stay updated on new content I have on my YouTube channel. But anyway, guys, that's all I have this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, and have a good day, everybody.